not very presentable.
Right. Hi.
Yeah, we start. Hi. Yeah. So, today, we're gonna talk about a very hot topic and somewhat sensitive topic. Is the Taiwan-strait situation, and then relationship to the U.S. and China relationship development. Um, Basically, I think it's an important issue for me or for us as investors, because being an investor, I think it's important that you have to see what's coming and really anticipate the situation ahead of time. So I think it's important that for our listener to listen a little bit about our take on the Taiwan situation and the U.S. China relationship going forward. So from here, I'm gonna just say one thing. I think uh, Taiwan Strait, because Nancy Pelosi visited, and since technically Taiwan and China, mainland China, is still at a standoff, at a civil war, since 1946. For people who doesn't know, and Taiwan has pretty much given up on sort of conquering the mainland China uh, since 1999, and because mainland China or PRC has gotten so strong and so big, and I guess the Taiwan and or AKA the ROC, the Republic of China, realized that there's no chance for them to sort of overtake mainland China. So since 1999, Taiwan has been seeking for Taiwan independence, and of course, PLC is not going to have it. In fact, mainland China PLC leader Xi Jinping has made it his top priority to unify China since his presidentship in 2012. So therefore, Nancy Pelosi visit to Taiwan indicated that uh, U.S. is in supportive of the Taiwan independence. At least that's how PRC view it. So as a result, uh, there is a big military operation or operation for 4 days surrounding the Taiwan island, and this created a lot of stress or worries in the region. Uh, Namely, like nobody's going to invest in Taiwan anymore because it's being viewed as a political risk. And also, this is a reflection of a bigger problem, which is the U.S.-China relationship development. And many calls this a, world-changing order, or Thucydides trap. I can never pronounce that word. Thucydides trap. It's a theory that the the dominated power would not go down without a fight against the rising number two power. So and it doesn't need to be initiated by the two, number one and number two. It could just be like something really stupid that trigger the fighting between the dominant power and the rising number two power. Um, Anyways, that's the background. From my understanding, we don't all have to be in agreement. I guess it's a discussion, it's a debate between us three, and I'm sure Alex has his own view and May has his own view, her own view. Yep. Alex, you want to say
So,
something? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
the, I just wonder, like, I want to hear from a people in Hong Kong perspectives, which I think you consider yourself a Chinese, right? That you. I mean, from the GDP point of view and from the money supply point of view, US is number one. But what is your take when you look at China is trying to be a number one also? I mean, is it like is that an idea and is that contributing stress?
Well, I personally do not believe that China has set out a course to say that we want to be world number one. Um, The reason is this, right? For China, for the last 100 years, since the downfall of the Qing dynasty, I guess Chinese as a race has been so eliminated by the Western society because of the backward of technology. There's no, sophisticated weapons to defend yourself. It was, we were seeking for a way to kind of rebuild the society so then we don't have to go through this experience again. Now, let me drop you a number, right? I just found it yesterday. So in 1972 or 1978, when Deng Xiaoping decided to open up mainland China to the open economy, slowly, step by step, the poverty level of China was over 90%. So 90% of the people was living in less than $3 a week salary, and that was really bad, I guess. And not $3 a month salary, so US dollars. So it was a really bad situation. And then in 2012, I guess that poverty level dropped significantly to only like 5% of the population. So I think if you look at it that way, um, China government or the Beijing government has always been trying to bring the majority population out of poverty. That was always been the tagline. That was always been the goal and yeah the goal of the government. So it just so happened the country is so big and so many people. When the whole country is being lifted out of poverty, it just so happened to become on its way to become the biggest economy in the world. And I guess as a byproduct, it creates some kind of like threat to the number one power, which is the United States.
Okay, I mean, I agree completely that given the numbers of populations, if you bring, if you want everybody to have like good standard or even enough income, you're gonna have a big GDP there. But since you move the poverty line, and then things move a little bit in China, and people got better livelihood. But do you sense this is me because I heard news from both sides. So do you sense right now, not from the past? I think in the past China just like put their head down and they just want to work, right? But right now, do you feel the sense of competition? Because I've heard from the news, but I've never actually talked to any Chinese person.
Yeah, so we spend time, like Alex and I, we spend time looking at the space program, right? So we take that as an example. China actually really wanted to participate in the world space program because they just thought like the technology can benefit the population, which is true, right? There's all kinds of byproduct like textile materials, space tech. So they wanted to participate that, but the U.S. government didn't want them to join. They let the Russian join, but not the Chinese. So the Chinese, as a result, was being forced to develop their own. Um, and another example is the semiconductor industry. So China never really had the inspiration or the aspiration to develop their own sort of like micro or high tech semiconductor. It has always been a strategy to use the existing technology that was provided in the world. But since the U.S. Trade war, U.S.-China trade war started, China realized that they needed to develop their own semiconductor product, and U.S. actually cut them off from like all the equipments provider too. So China was being forced to start their own sort of semiconductor development, which started only like 2-3 years ago. So I'm just saying, I think all this sort of technology developments was not uh, China's intention. It was being kind of forced into that situation, as a byproduct of the the CDS trap.
Okay, I get you now.
Yeah. Alex, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my apologies, I'm outside, so my mic might not be working properly. This subject has been very personal to me, and just wanted to say that ahead of time that what I'm about to say does not reflect my family's view or my company's view. It's just a very personal view. But I think that first off, it's very natural for countries to be competitive. It's a very human trait. But I just found it very unfortunate because in this case, I know the Western media has very much liked to peddle a certain type of narrative. We don't know that by now. It's in essence the nature of media too. But I consume a lot of Western media and basically see that the overall narrative is that China bad this, China bad that, and I just want to provide a counterpoint to that. And I'm not here to say make excuses for anybody, but as Marco has pointed out, that the last 100 years, I mean, we have pretty much in the East have been humiliated in the beginning, and a lot of times, when I see CNN news of Nancy Pelosi landing in Taiwan, everybody's like, you know what? Nancy Pelosi might not agree with her, but I'm glad that they're standing up. She's standing up to China. And first of all, to us, we feel like, well, if anybody needs to stand up, is we need to stand up to Nancy Pelosi. And just the whole sentiment. It's we want to give you the background history of Taiwan and China because not a lot of people know that. Everybody always think that Taiwan is just an innocent little island, and all of a sudden this big brother comes in and want to invade it. It's not like that. I mean, there's a rich history behind the whole stalemate or the Civil War, and believe it or not, there's a good number of people in Taiwan who also wants to rejoin China. And also backed up by this, Xi Jinping has also been quoted saying, "Look, we are all Chinese people. We're all of Chinese race. I'm not about to mindlessly just fire into, into Taiwan, just without any second thought. It's not his goal. His goal is to be able to unify China. So, for us, it's a very personal. And I think that I encourage any listener, before we go in, to basically go in and read more and understand what is the exact situation. Because to us, we feel that there is a disagreement, and basically another country all of a sudden stepping in to assert their viewpoint on us, and somehow the media got everybody on their side. And for me, I just think that as a society as a whole, I think that we have so much to gain by all collaborating. I have very much benefited from a U.S. education, and I also am very proud to be Chinese. So, and I'd love to see, the Chinese government doing better. And I've come, during my time in Shanghai, Marco and I come across a lot of Chinese officials too, and the major topic of them is about, how do we improve quality of life? How do we improve the economy? So on and so forth. Everybody gets the idea from Western media that just sit there and talk about ways to shackle the people, and that's not it. China also has a very big initiative on the environment. Not a lot of people talked about. Even Joe Rogan recognizes that. So, not Joe Rogan. I mean, Elon Musk recognizes that. That's why he's doing a lot of things in China. So I want everybody to I encourage everybody to kind of read up on it. And one last thing I want to say too, and if anybody wants to participate in the comments, please don't go into start naming the atrocities of this and that. China did this, China did that, because essentially, people could point out, the U.S. did this and the U.S. did that, but it's just not going to be a good discussion. It's just pointless because, it's going to be just goes into this rabbit hole. So, again, the reason why I'm bringing it up is just we just want to bring a more balanced view to the overarching narrative that the Western media is very much perpetuating. That's all we're saying. That's it.
So looking forward, you see this tension. You see deglobalization here, so to say. From the investor's point of view, you have a lot of knowledge in China, and you do speak English, and you consume a lot of Western media. So I'm sure you see both sides of a story. But from the investor point of view, money talks, and money doesn't have, well, their currencies, but money doesn't have political agendas. It sits in the bank. So where does it go? What do you think about from the investment point of view? What do you think can happen after this?
Well, I think from during the time when I think a couple of years ago during the whole Hong Kong protest, there's a lot of countries that comes out politically condemning China, right? But at the same time, a lot of the businesses in the foreign businesses in Hong Kong came out and issued their own statements saying we are still very much in support of China, the development of China and future collaborations. So you get the political side, which is basically saying, hey, hate this person. But business-wise, there's still people that think there's still a lot of things to be done in China. Whether or not that sentiment is genuine, caring about, or just pure, want to make money, that's another issue. But I believe that, a lot of times we have to, really question what is being peddled to us. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I would add to that is that I obviously you avoid Taiwan, right? Anything related to Taiwan, you avoid because there is a big sort of political risk there. And then adding to that, it's like you should avoid anything related to U.S. China competitions. I think, namely, the semiconductor industry. There might be a sanction coming up soon. We just did a round with this company that is about to do semiconductor with a very big semiconductor company, like a company in China going to do a joint sort of venture with a US semiconductor company, and that was deemed to be a risk. So I think 10 years ago, or even just 5 years ago, that would be a good thing, right? Like you would think, a China company that has the know-how and trying to partner up with a US big semiconductor manufacturer, you would think it's a good thing, but now it's deemed to be a risk. So yeah, I think the whole sort of investment environment is going to change just because of this Nancy Pelosi landing into Taiwan issue. I think, semiconductor is going to be a big thing. Anything related to Taiwan is going to, it's not good. And then, maybe in the future we can keep going down this route. And Alex and I would put some thought and see what else can we come up with.
Well, basically, right now, every single thing is a risk, and we are mostly staying put and trudging very carefully. But yeah.
Looking forward, I see super highly volatile between, trading anything associated with US, Taiwan, and China, especially Taiwan, like Marco said. I think you like you said, from the investor point of view, cash is king for now. If you want to invest in both countries that has relationship in tradings, I think that's risky.
Well, May, I want to, just for discussion purpose, right? I would make an argument that, U.S. cash or U.S. dollars might not be king, right? Because the inflation is so high, right? You're losing buying power. The CPA is like, what, 9% now? So you're probably like losing 7 to 8% by the end of this year for your buying power. So $1 of your US dollar would become what, 92 cents or 93 cents in next year. So I would say even cash, we need to be careful, right?
Yeah, I think cash, definitely you need to be careful with all sorts. I think asset allocation is the key, but my debate is, even though CPI is high, but US dollar is super strong. I mean, Thai baht
Yep.
is very weak compared to US dollar. It gains like 10% now. So we're looking at, even though CPI is high, like 9%, but if I hold Thai baht instead of dollar, I lose more than that, because it's like 10% on dollars and then probably 10% on inflation that happens in this country, which is worse. So
see.
from my point of view, dollar is still in high demand because it's the lesser of the evil. But
No, you're
but,
right. You're correct. Yeah.
yeah. So this is my take.
That's good. That's good. Well, anyways, I think we agree to keep it within how many minutes now? That's 20 minutes. Any closing statement from Alex, or May, you want to do your recommendation thing real quick, or?
Well, recommendation real quick, Mid-Journey. If you go to Discord, type Mid-Journey. It's an AI. You put all the words there. You've been playing it all night, last night and the night before, and you put all the words like cake, pink, pastel, Funko, and all the words, and it will generate really cool, amazing pictures for you. 4 of them for your selections, free. And
Wow.
it's worth going. It's called Mid-Journey. You have to install this chat app called Discord. It's a social media program, and you would see how amazing AI can do the pictures that you can't even imagine of. So it's very interesting.
Wow. That's cool. Alex, what about
Mid-journey,
you?
okay.
Yeah.
Nothing of, I mean, I'll recommend going to Netflix and watching Sandman. That's very, very, very good. But that's about it.
Sandman.
It's Neil Gaiman graphic novel comic book series that came out DC Vertical in the late 80s to early 90s, and they have just adapted it. It's very, very good.
Wow, that's cool. Well, I'm a big American football fan, and I'm very excited that football season is about to start. I've been watching a lot of the football news, and it gets me kind of distracted from all the craziness going on in the investment world. So yeah, sorry, very lame. I just watch a lot of
I
football.
know. I mean, sports always good. Sports is medicine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you so
great.
much.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
And I'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Catch you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.